Next review. Next review. Next review. Welcome to Crown Trick, a turn-based roguelike for PC and Nintendo Switch by Next Studios and Team 17, the guys who made Worms. You play as a girl with no arms called Elle who wakes up in a nightmare realm and meets a talking crown with an eyeball in it. Together they fight the hordes of darkness to kill the bad guys and separate the nightmare realm from the Earth realm. It's a cute Alice in Wonderland-esque world design with funny enemies, characters and silly dialogues throughout. It's got some great music. It's a little bit Tim Burton-y, like Nightmare Before Christmas kid-style movie theme attached to it, which fits the goofy characters very well. And with that said, let's jump into what you actually do in this game. You have a weapon. You have 3 teleports for battle, which don't use up a turn, which is very useful. You gain random items to use. You can skip turns. You can turn directions while standing on the spot. You pick a maximum of 2 familiars, which are kind of like schools of magic. Each one provides 2 spell slots each. Here we can see I only have 1 familiar, the fire guy. A potion to heal your health and mana, and you can see your health and mana in the bottom left corner next to our heroes. Above the health bar you will see the current buffs and debuffs you have, and in the top left corner is soul shards, gold and keys. Enemies in the game will have a break value highlighted by a shield icon on top of them. A normal enemy will lower their shield by 1, but if they're up close and you hit them, you can lower it by 2 or sometimes 3. Once you break an enemy shield, they'll be stunned for 3 turns and take 20% additional damage. You will also build up your break meter. Once you get 2 shields broken within a certain amount of turns, you will gain a damage boost, and then another break for another damage boost. The final break provides a 100% damage boost for 7 turns. 3 of the breakpoints also refund blink charges, and because blink charges don't cost a turn, they are the most useful thing to get in on enemies and reposition. I feel like the best weapon is the axe, purely because it can hit in a full arc around the character, allowing you to hit enemies diagonally. As most enemies can only attack next to them, every time you blink diagonally next to them, you get a free swing on them while they have to move next to you, wasting their turn. The cleanest way to clear a room or even a boss is to break enemy shields first, get the 100% damage buff, and then stun the boss and burst it down. Unfortunately, this boss has a bit of a AoE move, so the diagonal strategy isn't completely safe here. Most defeated rooms will drop a chest that usually has a relic, which is kind of like a passive effect that buffs the character for the rest of the run. Often being multiple choice is very handy because depending on the familiar you have or weapon, you can often pick a relic that is beneficial to your build. After a boss is defeated, you're put into a kind of limbo realm where you can heal from the Legend of Zelda fairy and also buy some items from a vendor before starting the next stage. You can spend all your hard-earned gold on the merchant who sells relics, items and weapons. You can also pay a small amount of gold to refresh all the items he offers. There's the Mystic Vendor, a more high-value version of the basic one, which will randomly spawn when you kill an enemy on a stage. If you're bored of spending money in the conventional sense, then you can put it in the random weapon gacha station for an awful chance to get the weapon you actually want. You can block half the weapons for all of your gold, and then still only have a 1 in 4 chance to get what you desire. Oh no, all my gold is gone. And if that's not for you, then you can waste even more money on the slot machines. Also very awful odds on these too, but at least it's realistic, hey. Even though I had fun on this game for a short while, I feel like it wasn't balanced well or any of the systems properly tested. Throughout the levels you'll find familiar crystals to switch up your spells, although the only ones you want is the Demon Lord and Bubble Guy to obliterate bosses, which are really the only threat in this game. Sometimes you'll stumble across the Monument of Dreams, a luck-based reward system for small boosts to the character's stats. They can also drop relics. Then there's the Cursed Chests, where you get a reward but a nasty penalty that can last a few floors. These are almost always bad as well. There is a nice little mini-map feature with waypoints you can teleport to save backtracking time. And you can also spend those keys you find in the stages on nice little goodies locked away. As for soul shards, they are used to get upgrades in town when you die, so you can improve your character's chances for the next run. This is something that completely puts me off roguelites in general. I played Hades before, and as soon as I replayed a few times, it drove me insane, and I uninstalled the game. Funnily enough, the same is about to happen to this game, because it's time to move on to the next review. 5 out of 10, not a Bills banger, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.